Welcome to a monster episode of Weekly Money. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who's reached out to me at my hotshotgameplan@gmail.com email address, asking me startup questions of all types, shapes, sizes, and sorts. I've been really entertained answering your questions and seeing, the type of questions that everybody has when they're new to this industry. I've really enjoyed kind of giving you my feedback, my thoughts, and kind of going back in the crates, if you will, and pulling out, my experiences and sharing them with you and giving you some step-by-steps about getting started. I've really, really enjoyed those startup questions. So please keep those coming to hotshotgameplan@gmail.com. It's also been a really great week as far as dispatching goes. Many of you reached out to me at the hotshotgameplan@gmail.com regarding your interest in having me dispatch for you. In this episode of Weekly Money, I'm going to go into the first person that I dispatched this week. But first, I'd like to clarify a few things. So I did mention last week that I was charging a $1,000 flat fee, and that's just not the case. I realize that is not fair for folks to incur that kind of expense when they may not have the loads to cover that expense. That's just not fair. So quickly, I changed the tune of my fee to 20% of loads, and that's for mentoring you and finding your loads and mapping out your routes. So basically, you're just looking in your email, listening to my phone call, waiting for my text, letting you know where you're going, how much you're making. And I'm always looking out for your ELD hours to make sure you have enough time to get there, taking traffic into account. So it is 20% of the loads that I book for you. It is not a $1,000 flat fee. After making last week's video, I thought about that. I said, that's just not going to work for people. It wouldn't have worked to me when I started out. So that's that. Secondly, there's no deposits ever. I don't need you to give me a deposit. Many of you have offered, hey, I'll send you your first 1,000 so you can save my spot. And though I appreciate that, I would never take your money to hold a spot. That's just not right. We'll work together once you have all your ducks in a row, and I'll explain what that list looks like. But there's no deposits or anything like that to work with me on the dispatching side of things. And by the way, the mentoring component of this does mean that you have full access to me by phone, text, email, and FaceTime 5 days a week while you're out there on the road. That's enough of the super detailed stuff for now. If you want to get into the list of things that I look for in order to dispatch for you and more information about that, that's at the end of the video after the Weekly Money episode. But in the meantime, let's jump into that episode. So I'm just topping off on diesel and DEF, and I picked up this OD load that did not require tarping, but I tarped it because we may get scattered showers today. It's in the forecast. Those are airplane engine rings, and I don't want them to get wet at all because if they end up being wet to any degree, you get charged for them, and they're tens of thousands of dollars. So there's a guy who delivered one wet, and it was an issue. So rather safe than sorry. This is half of load 2. My second load is a 2-stop load. I'm really excited about this load because this is the first load that I'm doing with a direct shipper that used to just be somebody I picked up from through a broker. They reached out to me, told me they were consolidating, changing some things. They want to do more local drivers, which I was all on board for that. So this is the first load that I'm doing with them. This is our maiden voyage, just directly with no broker in the middle. A few things a little bit different. I don't know if I can factor this load. I say I don't know because I didn't ask them if they mind me connecting them or getting them approved with my factoring company. They may say yes, and if so, I can factor it. I'll pay fees on it, but it is what it is, like any other load. But otherwise, this load is, the way they pay is net 30, which means within 30 days of you dropping it and providing your signed paperwork, they go ahead and pay you out. So, but she did say they pay sooner than that. So maybe it's a couple weeks. That's fine with me. The other thing is, I asked her, I said, listen, what are you used to paying for these through a broker? She said $800. And I said, I'll tell you what, I want you guys to save money. So I'll do it for $7. She was totally excited. The person in the shipping department. Oh yeah, that's thunder. They're saving money. They're dealing with somebody local. And on my end, I'm thinking I'll stimulate more business, hopefully. So God willing, that's the way this goes. So that's that. And quickly before I get poured on, I want to talk about my tarps. This is an 8-foot drop tarp, which means the sides are 8 feet long or 8 feet tall. So if I have an 8-foot tall load, I know that my tarp will cover the sides all the way down to the deck. Now this is important because if you're hauling already and you're hauling with your tarp and you don't have a tarp with 8-foot drops, please comment in the comment section below. I'm sure you've come across loads that say 8-foot drop tarp required. Happens to everybody. I saw that when, as I tell everybody, get onto DAT, get the 30 days free, and start watching the load board. You'll pick up on things like this. That's why I keep saying it over and over again. The free link for 30 days free of DAT load board access is in the comments below. It's also in the description below, or send me a comment, ask me for it. You do need your DOT number. Get it as intra-state, not interstate, and that's how you get your free DOT number. You're gonna need that to sign up for your 30 days free of DAT. All right, moving on. So 8-foot drop tarps are a must in the industry because, as far as I'm concerned, this is the way I think. I wanna give a broker as little reasons to deny me a load. And especially when I was starting out, I thought, I don't want any reasons to be denied a load. I'm already new with a new MC. So that's why I went out and bought 8-foot drop tarps. I like them a whole lot. They've come in handy. There's a lot of loads that I've gotten because I had a tarp with 8-foot drops and not 6-foot drops or 4-foot drops. So they've basically made me money, really. And as far as new brokers, I've updated the free course that I have, the Before You Buy a Truck course. And I believe at the end of lesson 2, at the end of every lesson, I've added some free lessons and talked about more about the 2 courses that I have, Ready, Set, Prepare and Money, 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 because people are asking about it. So I figured I'd put it there rather than talking about all that stuff on YouTube. But after each course, I've also added a bit more information about different topics. I listed 18 brokers that do not care if you have a brand new MC. 24-hour-old MC, there's at least 18 brokers that will give you a load. I know this because some of the brokers on that list were on my list. They were part of my first 30, 60, 90 days, but that was some time ago. So what I did was I've been working with 2 guys that were brand new on the road, and I asked them both. By the way, shout out to both of you guys. You're subs on this channel. I appreciate all your feedback because I forgot a lot of the stuff from when I was early on in the game. But they told me, hey, we've been making money on the road. Those are brokers as of 2020 that I know 2 gentlemen that have been running the road with brand new MCs. One of them was a day old MC, and they're making money. So that list of 18 brokers that don't care if you have a brand new MC, check it out. If you haven't subscribed or signed up for the free course yet that I have, the link is in the comment section below, description section below, or ask me for it in the comment section. I'll send you the link. Check it out, because even if you've already signed up for it, but I've added a bonus lesson to each one of them. So essentially there's 6 new lessons at the end of the 6 lessons you've already seen if you've already gone through my free course. So don't forget, that's also a library. So that course, you have access to it forever, download it on your phone, on your hard drive, whatever. But also you can log back in and watch those whenever you want. You don't have to like sign back up with the link. Just go back in with a username and password and watch that course again. Also, if you buy my other courses, Ready, Set, Prepare, Money, 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 I'm not saying you have to, but if you do, they'll be saved there as well. And that's part of your library. You'll be able to log back in and see all, both of your courses or all 3 of your courses. So anyway, Tuesday morning, I slept in a little bit on purpose. And to all my drivers out there, let's talk about fatigue. Nobody talks about this, man. Everybody talks about money, rate per mile, loads, and yada, 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 but nobody talks about fatigue. So to all my drivers out there, talk to me about, do you get tired when you're on the road? How do you break up your drive so that you stay awake, so that you stay energized? People think you're holding a steering wheel all day. How tired can you be? I get tired. Like, I slept in late this morning. I could have got up at 3 a.m. I got up at 6 on purpose because I needed the rest. And really all I did was make 2 stops yesterday, 2-3 stops yesterday. So, and I was tired, and I'm driving to Jersey now. And I know by the time I get back home from Jersey and do my other stop in Connecticut to Mass, I'm gonna be exhausted by the time I get home, because mentally you're watching the road nonstop, you're watching the load on the back of your trailer, you're sitting for a long period of time. So please, talk to me about what you do on a daily basis while you're in the cab of your truck, to stay awake, to stay from getting sore, from getting tight, from feeling like an old person. They say if you don't use it, you lose it. So how are you guys staying flexible? How are you staying loose? How are you staying energized? How are you staying awake? Please let me know. This is a 750 OD load that I pick up from a broker that calls me directly. This load never, ever, ever hits the load board, at least since I've been doing it for many, many months now. What I do want to inform you guys about is a bit more about my day. It's a little different now because I have a little bit of dispatching going on. So my guy that I'm working with, today's Tuesday, so yesterday he ran, today he dropped, and then he went to pick something else up that was small, paying $9.50, going from Long Island to Massachusetts. And as he was leaving Long Island, I said, oh, hold on, I found something else. So we had him go back into Jersey. My fault, I did not account for the traffic going from Long Island to Jersey. Typically I would. In the Corona era, I forgot about typical normal traffic. So he was in that for a while, arrived,
at the place where he's picking up this tractor a little later than they wanted. They closed at 4. He got there at 5. Traffic, it is what it is. We can probably still load up after hours, hopefully. He's trying that now. When you arrive at a spot, always go inside. You never know what you'll find. Somebody may say, yeah, I'll load you. It's happened to be a million times. So if he gets loaded, great. He'll, drive east toward the drop as many hours as he has. Otherwise, he'll camp out in the morning, bright and early, get loaded, and then head on east towards drop in that. And then one of my brokers that I work with a lot, you guys have seen this shop a lot that I go to. They called me, asked me if I was available tomorrow for pickup. I said I'm not, but somebody I'm dispatching is. Got over his broker packet completed, and he has that to pick up in Massachusetts and then come down and drop off what he picked up in Long Island. Whew, running, beating the street, eating the pavement, but we're working. So as of tomorrow, Wednesday, as of end of day tomorrow, he'll be at 2,000 for the week. Getting loaded. I think I'm ahead of schedule thus far. Busy Wednesday, busy Wednesday. Here, I'm in Connecticut, going almost to the New Hampshire line to pick up another load, then going to South Portland, Maine to drop this load, and then going back down to almost Boston area to pick up another load, and then home. And then tomorrow I got to drop all that off in Connecticut and in Newburgh, New York. So one of the owners was nice enough to come out and just say, hey, by the way, make sure you strap the middle strap lighter than the rest, which makes sense. It's concrete. Some people would just crank it, but it makes sense. So I only had to do 2 straps on this. I did 3 for overkill. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then I measured out 10 feet on this nose end of my trailer. I left that empty on purpose, so I figured the weight would be further back, so it's not all on my rear axle. And then I left 20 feet for my next load, which is 18 feet. So it'll give me a little bit of gap because I have to tarp that load. Give me some space to tarp in between this and that load, and I'll still be within the end of the deck. So keep it moving. It's always interesting when you have to tarp a load in the rain. The tarp is so it doesn't get wet, but it's wet. It's raining when it's being loaded. This is tarped because of that. Where am I? All the black you see there is insulation. And this was also interesting because gentleman that I'm dispatching for, this is my direct shipper, direct broker. They called me before they even put these on the board. He called me with it. I wasn't close by yesterday. At least I didn't think I was gonna be close by. So I called my guy and said, hey, can you grab this? He's like, yeah, I'll grab it. So he was due to grab this, but then he got caught up in traffic in Jersey. Again, traffic is back. So I'm guessing people are, not really working remote from home anymore. Anyway, that delayed him. He had to do his 10-hour in Jersey, which means he wouldn't have been here by noon. This had to be picked up by noon. So I pulled in at 11:08 to grab this and keep it moving. Got to make it work. So I am actively skirting a weigh station. Listen, the reason is that there's a weigh station that seems to be open according to my app, and I don't want to go through it. I don't think I'm heavy, but I think I'm heavy. So when I spoke to the person who gave me this cement structure, they mentioned it was 8,900 pounds, and I thought, okay, no big deal. When I picked it up, the paperwork says 10,500 pounds. I'm not concerned that my trailer can't take it. I'm concerned that if I go through a weigh scale, if I'm over, obviously we know the repercussions of that. But if I'm not over, but they ask for my paperwork, they're gonna say, no, you're over. And they may weigh me, I may or may not be over, but even if I'm not, they may say, sorry, your paperwork says you're over, whatever. I wanna avoid that whole bowl of worms. So I decided, let me just get off the highway before that weigh station, go through the town, as I'm doing right now. It'll add to my time, but I'm still making decent time.
It's always a treat when I get to hang out with my buddies out in Massachusetts who also happen to be a direct shipper account for me. I wrapped up my Wednesday learning to drive a forklift for the first time. I dropped both of these loads off on Thursday, and I was done for the week. Many have reached out, and a lot of you are tying up loose ends. You're getting your truck, you're waiting for your FMCSA approval to come in for your MC number, you're waiting for delivery of your trailer, things like that. So there's a good pool of you that are looking for a good dispatcher, and I don't want to take on more than I can handle. So I'm adding people on in a staggered manner. Those of you that were already communicating, well, let's continue that communication. And the second person that I'm dispatching, I'm excited to get started on Monday. Actually, I already booked a load for them for Monday. They're coming out of Texas. They have an 8-foot load paying $1,100. and I'm looking to, fill them up along the way and along the way back. They want to be back home for Thursday, so I have 4 days. Let's see what kind of magic I could work, and I'll report that next week. And before I do share that checklist of 7 items that I'd like you to have in place before I start dispatching for you, if that's something you're interested in, I do want to acknowledge those of you that have shared that you think 20% is too pricey, too expensive for the service of dispatching for you, mentoring you, mapping out your routes. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not here to dispute that. My first video ever on this channel, I clearly said I don't get into disputes. It's not something I do in my personal life or in any business that I've bought, ran, or sold in the past, and I'm not about to start now. By all means, you're more than welcome to figure out how to do everything I do every day on your own. All I have to say is just know that these bills are expensive. The truck payment, trailer payment, insurance payment, fuel payment, all those bills are expensive. Anything you've charged as far as equipment, those creditors and those debtors do not stop to think that you're trying to figure things out. Let's give him or her some leeway. It doesn't work that way. I figured everything out from scratch, and there were a lot of bumps along the way, which is why I'm offering these services now. And I also know my worth, and I know the worth of my experience. I know the worth of what I know, and I know how instrumental I can be to somebody else's success, especially in the early stages when you're starting off. If you don't agree with that, that's absolutely fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I will never delete your comment. If you delete your own comment, that's up to you, but I will never delete your comment or your thoughts regarding pricing or anything for that matter on this channel. You're more than welcome to share your thoughts and express yourself. That's what this country's all about. So with that said, if you want me to dispatch for you, still feel free to reach out to me on that email and let me know that you have an interest in that. I'll respond with my 11 questions that help me understand where you are and how I can best serve you and dispatch for you. But I'm also looking for you to have certain things in place, and here they are. Number one, I would like you to have your commercial insurance in place and your MC number in place. If your MC number hasn't been approved yet, but you're waiting for approval, that's fine too. That just lets me know you have skin in the game, you're serious, you're about to get on the road, you're really looking for somebody to help you rather than just, trying to find out information early on. Also, I would like for you to have your truck and trailer already. If you're 2 weeks out from receiving the delivery of your truck and or trailer, that's okay too. Just let me know in the email. Fifth is, I prefer you not to have signed on with a factoring company yet, because I prefer you sign up with my factoring company for multiple reasons. One, I understand them, so I can guide you through the steps and the questions you may have. And also, I know the process for factoring your money versus me telling you, I don't know, reach out to somebody else. Now we're slowing the process down for you, and that's frustrating for everybody. So I do require you to sign up with my factoring company if you want me to dispatch for you. Number 6, same goes with the ELD. I use Keep Truckin'. I have a link that I provide everybody. Keep Truckin' has given me an affiliate link that I provide to you so that you receive a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up with Keep Trucking. I also receive a $100 gift card when you sign up with Keep Trucking, but I rather you use them, and I ask that you use them if I'm going to dispatch for you, because again, I can help you understand the questions, I can help you understand the ELD, the process, the app. I'm familiar with it, so I can walk you through it. If you choose to use different companies, I'm politely going to say I'm not going to dispatch for you because I can't help you through questions you may have about these two very huge components of the business. And number 7, if you are interested in having me dispatch for you and you have questions about the process, about fees, about whatever, reach out to me, hotshotgameplan@gmail.com, and I will respond with 11 questions that help me, again, understand where you are, where you want to go, and how I can help you get there. Any and everyone is welcome to reach out to me with startup questions they may have to my hotshotgameplan@gmail.com email address. That's what it's there for. That's why I created it, to listen to those questions that you need answers to that nobody's answering. I want to be able to answer those for you.